Hey guys, now I've been promising for a couple of weeks that I would do a pantry tour and I haven't done that yet, and I figured while I'm waiting for something else to render I may as well get on with it. So we're going to actually start not in the kitchen, we're going out to the porch. Come with me. Okay, so our front porch by our front door is quite a space, and we found that we were able to put some shelves up behind the door frame. Now that doesn't stop the door from opening properly, which is where it should do. That's very cool. Yeah, but also out here is absolutely freezing, and it is probably pretty close to the kind of temperatures you want a root cellar to be at, even in summer. So we keep our root vegetables and most of our veg that don't go in the fridge out here. So we do all that. That's not a problem. And then this top bit is usually where I dry out food, like when I do the flowers and stuff in the summer. Now we do have a couple of baggies of big bags of pasta. We've probably got a year's worth of pasta actually supplied, that we've got, probably even two to be fair, but it's a lot cheaper for us to buy the big bag for £4 than it is to buy little bags for, yeah, that it just, no. We go through quite a lot of rice, so we've actually got 7 packs. We tend to pick up a couple of packs every fortnight just to make sure that we've got a nice stock on, and if we find more, then, you know, more cheaply, then we will buy it more cheaply. But we like to have something like anywhere between 5 and 10 kilos of rice on hand, because we do use it quite regularly. Yeah. Now, this is one of my favourite sauces, Jimmy's, and you will have seen me use it a few times. Now, it's cheaper for me to buy it in bulk, so if I get 3 or 4 jars of it, I get a discount, so I tend to do that. So these are 2 that I got last year. When I ordered them all last year, I've only just getting to the bottom of the last one, so that's kind of cool. We always have soda water on hand because we use that for batters and stuff. Jackfruit. Now jackfruit is in most it's sorry. Oh my gosh. Jackfruit, I tend to only buy 1 tin, and the reason that I only buy 1 tin of that is because it's so goddamn expensive. However, Tunny, who when he was out the other day found 2 tins for £1, wasn't it? Yeah, so we grabbed a few because normally 1 tin is £1.83 from the supermarket. So it was like, nah, we're gonna grab it while we can, thank you very much. So we grabbed a few tins of that. Now the tuna that we had, we found in, normally we buy these ones, as you can see. We normally get the 4 or 5 tins in a thingy. These ones, however, they turned up in one of the local supermarkets as a tray of 12 for the price of 4 of those. So we grabbed a couple of trays. Farm foods, yeah, it was farm foods. We always have a little tin of mackerels in some kind of description, and this is where our little tins of veg go. Straw mushrooms, that's because I adore them. Now this is one of Tanny's bestest favourites, and we found it on offer in farm foods for 9p a jar. So we grabbed 10 jars. We did, because, you know, you're not going to turn that down. And we always tend to have a couple of things of fruit, preferably pineapple tends to be one of them, and always a custard around, because you never know. So that's that lit, but we do it cheaply, like I said. And up here is our soup corner. Now, all of these we tend to buy when they're on offer. Because they're basics, they tend not to be on offer, and they're only like 2 or 3 packets for £1, so we grab those. Same with the soups, we tend to do quite cheaply as well, as often as possible. And that goes for things like jars of olives and sauerkraut at the back. Sweet and sour, these cooking sauces, they were on offer. I think they were like 2 for £1 again. They could have been, yeah. But we also have things like chickpea rice as something a bit different, which I will buy when I see it, when it's on offer. And that should be up there actually. So just going to pop it back on the next shelf. These are handmade pickled onions that I do for sandwiches. They literally pickle overnight, so we go through quite a lot of them and we just fill up the jars as and when needed. Got a big, I buy things like TVP on in bulk, so I bought a 2-3 kilo bag of TVP, which means I've got a big jar of this, and then I've also got the other jar that is the everyday jar, and then I'll just fill it up from here. Again, we've got these. Now I know it says £1, but I'm pretty sure we bought them for 2 for £1, so they could be a lot cheaper. The pasta sauces.
Pasta sauce, the big jars?
Yeah.
No, they're 69p.
69p each. Oh, there you go. But we shop around and we look for things, you know. Now the chickpeas and the butter beans, I know they were 4 tins for £1. They were on offer, so we bought, I think, at the time we had 10 tins of each, but we're getting down now, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I've seen in farm foods, they got 3 for £1.
They got 3 for £1 at the moment at Farm Foods. That's pretty cool. We also have a few little things like this because you never know when you want something just to grab and go. We tend to always have 10 tins of chopped tomatoes and 10 of plum tomatoes in, but we haven't got that at the moment. And our baked beans are down to God knows what. Nothing. We're down to nothing.
No, I've got a couple of them.
Yeah, we got 3 tins. No, we don't. You go through them more than I do. I go through maybe 1 tin a year. Yes. So, you know, I mean, but it's just staying organised and then topping it up when and if we can, you know. The passata we bought while it was on offer, so we've got 2 of those still. We get the noodles when we feel like it. We always tend to have a couple of packets of noodles in because they're a good cheap meal, good cheap alternative. We've always got things like spaghetti in and stuff like that, and that's up on that shelf. Actually, we've gone through quite a lot of stuff actually. Just quietly, our shelves are starting to look a little bit like they've got holes in them, but that's okay. Now we're going to move off into the other room. Okay, so we're not quite at the pantry bit yet, but this is where I keep all my bulk vinegars and oils and things. So got white vinegar, which I tend to buy when I can get 4 or 5 at a time, and we've also got apple cider vinegar, which I also buy 2 at a time. Then we keep these bottles and use them for making up cleaning liquids and stuff. Then I've got the coconut oil, which I buy from eBay in 5 kilo buckets because it's a lot cheaper that way than it is to buy it by the jar. That's the refined stuff. It's actually not only food grade, but it's also beauty grade and medicine grade, so it's really good stuff. And I keep my spare honey down here, and we keep munchies. It's a munchie cupboard as well. Okay, now this cupboard is where I keep the things that I make, like sauces and preserves and things like that. And we keep our spare jars. So yeah, that's where we keep those bits and pieces. And this is where we're going to head into the pantry that Townie built. Okay, he made me an amazing pantry, and with from the understairs cupboard. and we're going to go through this one. These jars and things, the pink ones we found at a second-hand shop, and we got them for 6 for £10 because we bought 2 boxes of them. They let us have them for 6 for £10, which is really cool because they're all 2-litre bottles, and they're very, very good for certain dry store items that we get quite a lot of. These ones are coffee jars. Here in the UK it's called Dow Egberts. In Australia it's oh god, I've forgotten the name of it. Someone's going to kill me over this because I buy it over there as well and I can't remember it. But as soon as I get to Australia I won't be able to remember Dow Egberts. Okay, someone write it in the comments or I'll put it up on the thing. But yeah, they're the coffee jars that we use because it's simpler that way. These clicky jars that we've got, which are the £2 jars, we found on offer in Asda for £1 each. Though actually these ones were 50p each. They were on offer for 50p each. It pays to look, guys, seriously. These ones are all random jars from sauces and stuff we've bought. These ones are from pickling vinegar, but they work out really, really well. And then we've got the big long hot dog ones as well, because they're good tall ones that take up little amounts of space. Okay, so now just give me a second. Okay, so down here, as you can see, we keep our packets that we don't have jars for at this minute. Okay, that's where we keep those. And in the corner, we've got £3 jars of hedgerow chutney, which I made a year ago. And then needs using. We just haven't got to it yet. We've got so many other things. This is where I keep a lot of the preserved things for antipasti. These jars, again, we found on offer. They were something like 50p each. Because, you know, we're cheap. Well, okay, we're thrifty. Alright, but this is really the area where we keep, you know, the things that I've made. So lemon peel, dried pomelo, crystallized ginger, the mint from the garden, thyme. This is a random, I think it's a grape jam or something. I didn't label it. That was a bit daft. Anywho, but this is where I keep things like this: dried nasturtium leaves, banana chips, marigold, corn flour, nasturtium flowers and lemon balm. Also the green tomato ketchup that we made. And this bit in between here is the apple chutney that I made last year, plus things like seaweeds and vegan alternatives that I've made myself. Okay, down here is more preserved things that I've done. Oh, and some dried parsley. If we go up one, it's starting to get a little bit, this is where we keep the open honey. Then I've got more different citrus peels I've done. That's clementines and that's lime. There's the textured vegetable, the TVP that I'm using at the moment. These are actually all empty at the moment. They need to go. They're being packed up slowly. And then up the top, I put things that are a little bit more expensive and I don't really want to use a lot of. So we've got things like Kappa carrageenan, which is a seaweed-based thickening agent, but you only use like half a teaspoon at a time. Coconut sugar, tiger nuts, onion powder, that kind of stuff. Up the top here, on the other side, this is where I keep all my different salts and peppers and my little jars of things. Shop bought things. So I don't actually, or shop bought mixes. So I don't get them mixed up with the ones that I do. Okay, and then we go down to here. And we start off with things like poppy seeds, rosemary from our garden, oregano from the garden, chili flakes that I made myself from drying my own chilies. But as I said, I do get my spices in bulk. Things like the chilies and such, I do actually dry off myself and put those in myself. So yeah, that's a little bit different. Hopefully next year, or in the next couple of years, you'll be seeing me doing a lot more growing of exotic things, so that I can do a bit more of that, which is cool. But a lot of the stuff on this one is more to do with Indian cooking or Asian cooking of different types. Then we come down here, we've got things like celery seed, gluten-free pasta shapes, sesame seed. It's a lot of seedies on this side. Wild rice, got the mung beans, we've got the cumin seeds, which can go over there, and things that are really seed based, yeah, more than anything. Sage from the garden. Then we've got things that start to get grounded. Okay, so even though we've got, I mean, there wasn't a lot of room left on the other shelf, so some of these have come down here, but there are also things that tend to be ground up. So we tend to keep, or I tend to try to keep the whole seeds next to the ground seeds if I can. Oh, there's not a lot of air in here. Right, but so we've got like all our cloves and cumin and ginger and turmeric, garlic powder, nigella seeds, ground nutmeg, ground cinnamon, paprika, and then over here are the mixed blends that I make, which I'll get into next week, and stevia powder, which is actually made from the leaf. It's actually ground up leaf of stevia, this one, not, which is why it's still green, not the white powder, which is the synthesized juice and crystallized juice of the stevia, which makes it slightly different. Yeah, so there we go. But this, like I said, I only buy a bag of whatever every couple of months to add on to things to make sure we got plenty. These big jars, I tend to have things that we're going to use a lot of. So we've got things like all the different flours that we've got, oats, long grain brown rice, long grain white rice, pasta spirals, coconut, you know, the things we use a lot of. Last little cupboard we need to go into is this one. This is my baking cupboard and my pickle cupboard, where we grab things like the pickles from over here, but we've got all the baking bits and pieces from there, and packets of whatevers and stuff there. So we haven't got a lot of flour left, to be honest. We're down to the dregs on that, so we're gonna have to do something about that fairly shortly. But I've always got yeast on hand, and all that kind of stuff, so that we can just go at it if that's what we want to do. The only other part that we've got is this, which is all our sauces for cooking with. Some of the condiments, some of them are cooking sauces and stuff like that. I tend to keep my Asian cooking sauces over here. That way Tanny stays away from them, because he knows that he shouldn't touch them, because he will get burned. Not by me, but by the sauce. So yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much my kitchen and my pantries, the way that we set them up at this point. So I just go back to my desk for a minute. I think we're going to do that. That would be a good idea. Okay. Like I said, it has taken a good 2.5 years to build up to what we have and have it set up in such a way as all we need to do is top up when something runs out or looks like it's about to run out. It's taken a lot of research, it's taken a lot of work, it's taken a lot of sacrifice, on both our parts really, to get it going the way that it is. But we wanted it in such a way as that it's functional, and that if there's something that we want to make or want to experiment with, we can just go in and do it. It's not a problem, you know, and we know what's in there. We know what's in there. So we've got a pretty decent variety of stuff we need to cook from scratch and stuff that we can just grab and go if we want to do that. I prefer to buy things dry in packets. They're going to last you longer. They're less likely to go off. Even if you've got jars of things, they tend to go off after a while. Tins can go rusty if there's water damage in the pantry. Luckily our porch is nicely sorted out, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, but it is going to be quite a thing to move when we have to move, which is fine, and we don't have a problem with that. We also tend to buy as much as we can so that we have enough for 12 months. And if we've got enough for 12 months, both Tanny and I are happy and feel secure in the knowledge that if anything happens to either of us, the other one is sorted out and they don't need to worry about anything, especially with things going on the way they are at the moment. But yeah, anywho, I'm going to put a list of websites that I use to personally buy bits and pieces from where I get my spices to where I get my nuts to where I get different things. Yeah, okay. What? Oh my gosh. Anywho, I'm not sponsored in any way. All I want to do is give you guys a heads up of different places that are available online that do deliveries, that you don't have to worry about where you're going or what have you. It's really, really important to have yourself organised. I know a lot of kitchens are very, very small. Ours is not big. It's not big by any means. In fact, it's very, very small. And we do the best we can with the space that we have. And using what we have is, you know, the best way that we can do it. We do, obviously, you know that we grow our own certain amount of veg and herbs and stuff like that, and that does take down some of the outgoings that we have to put out to put in other things. We also, in our freezer, which I didn't go through, we have a lot of homemade sauces that we've made over the last 6 months from things that we've grown in the garden, like the tomatoes and the zucchinis and the courgettes and all of that kind of stuff. So they're all in the freezer ready to go because it was simple that way. And I tend to, when veg is on the way out, I'll turn it into a sauce. I will turn it into a sauce or something like that, just to make sure that we can get it in the freezer. We put it in freezer bags, we pack it flat, and they get frozen flat, and then they can be put upright in the freezer like records, you know, vinyl, you know. So that's what we do there. Our general grocery bill for a month, if we're not stocking for anything particular, tends to be around the £50 mark for the month. But that also includes replacing things that we've had a year's supply of or several months supply of. So, you know, it's not that bad. Every 3 months, as you know, I go online and I get some more bits and pieces to add to our stores. That I tend to only spend around £40 to £50 every 3 months to do that. But I do get a lot of things. as you've seen with some of my unboxing videos, and I make the most of that too. And I use the tokens they send you, the coupons they send you for the free stuff, and I will make sure that I get free postage by spending over the certain amount. So it's worth it, and it is worth shopping around as well. I know everybody wants to get in and out of the supermarkets. I do. I mean, I haven't properly been in a supermarket now for 8 months, probably 8, 9 months, 10 months maybe. Very rarely do I go, and if I do, if Tanny does let me go in, it's first thing in the morning, around about 7 or 8 in the morning, because no one's in there. And that's when I get to go and have a look and see what's about and what the offers are and what's in the reduced section and all of that kind of stuff. A lot of the stuff that we do get as far as fresh fruit and veg is concerned do come from the reduced section, unless it's something that we can't find in there. We do search those very, very thoroughly. Yeah. So it's just about looking for what you can get and making the most of what you can get with it. The chickens that we have in the oven, in the freezer at the moment, cost us £2.50. £2.50 for a whole chicken. Yeah. Yeah, it did. And we've got 2 ducks in there at the moment, and they were what? 2 for a tenner? 2 for a tenner. So, you know, there's something that's going to do more than one meal for us, and to be able to do that with the ingredients that we have is a really good deal. We do, like at the moment, like Tanny went shopping the other day, and in Aldi's, wasn't it? Found avocados for 2 for £1.15, I think. I believe that was what it was. Yes, avocado twin pack, what, £1.15 each, which was a twin pack. But he also found mangoes for 59p each, which is a huge bargain. So, you know, it's about looking around and seeing what you can get. Having someone like Tanny around who can race around the shelves and just, has trained himself for years to look for the cheapest offers and the best offers. He's brilliant. You know, we all need to have a Tanny who can do that. But you can train yourself to do it too, you know. And no, I don't rent him out. He's not rentable. Anywho, I'm going to go. I've got to write this up, and I have to do all the things. Hey, like, you know, put your links down. Right, so I'm going to put the links down to 3 or 4 different places that I use myself to buy online things cheaply. There are some really good shops that, well, stores online that you can buy short dated things, or what they classify as seconds. So it might be stuff that a supermarket has sent back for whatever reason, or it's an oversight or something like that. It's nothing wrong with it. And most dry store ingredients or dry store stuff for your pantry and stuff like that is gonna last a lot longer than the use by date, and that's why it has a best before date, not a use by date. So yeah, be aware of that. Another thing that, yeah, nope, that's it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, if you guys found this video helpful in whatever ways you could, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you want to carry on watching my crazy life, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon and choose the all option, and then you'll get notified of when I'm up and around. So I will see you guys later on. I hope you enjoyed this. It's been fun doing. Yeah, and I will see you guys later on. Bye bye.